check. Same mundane terrain. None of that same mundane terrain. The fast lane gets blurry, interestingly disturbing. The demons, they're lurking. I'm particularly worried, so they always show up early when that road gets curvy. They hurt me, but I'm burly, so I surely keep on working. What's down below? 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 What's down below?
Through the left side, base hit! Downing is in to score! And DVC walk it off!
Best high step, he looks down the middle of the field, he's gonna throw the goal run, has him in the field, intercepted! Intercepted, taking it down the far sideline, he steps out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage, and that's how you cap the game up!
Sierra Smith quickly worked around, feeding the hot hand, Jasmine got it! 3 threes for number 23.
Who finds Edwards? Edwards needs to get the shot up. Pulls up a deep three. Able to knock it down.
The counterattack. Here comes Carla Ramos forward looking for Noelle Lemus. She's gotten by the last defender. Valentine comes out. Noelle drills the keeper. Lemus. Lemus. And that is a DVC victory. And the Vikings are champions of California. And welcome, faithful followers of the green and white, to Rick Millington Pool here at the DVC Aquatic Center. We are here in Pleasant Hill for the final home date of the DVC water polo season, getting things ready for the Big 8 tournament just a few weeks away from now, and it's going to be DVC taking on the Santa Rosa Bear Cubs. We're going to listen in here for a few moments as it is sophomore day here as well at Rick Millington Pool, and we'll be honoring the Vikings sophomores here. John Brown on the call, and we'll be right back, myself and my illustrious co-commentator Chris Koblik, in just a moment to bring you the game itself.
Congratulations. And to DVC, the following sophomores are being honored today. Number 3, Monisha Azizi. Number 3. Wearing number 4 for DVC, Sophia Goodson. She's in the 9 cap, it's Julie Caceres. Number 10 for the green and white is Irini Perfridas. And before she moves on, number 17, Alex Renderos. These are the DVC sophomores of 2024. Congratulations. Water polo sophomores, we thank you for athletic skills and your devotion to both the school and the sport. Our 2 officials for this Big 8 game are Jason Crow and Matt Radke.
This is all right here?
Vikings team preparing here to get into the pool, and we are just about ready for action from Pleasant Hill, California. A look at the starting lineups for DVC. It'll be Cosgrove, Lane in goal, Sanchez, Goodson, Kagayong, Priftis, Pappas, and Laura, your 6 outfield players. Pineda, the goalkeeper for Santa Rosa, West, Andrews, Williams, Clarkson, another West, and Holzhauser, your 6 for the Bear Cubs. And I'm joined today, and very excited to be joined today on broadcast debut by Chris Koblick. Most would know you as an art history professor, but here today on the comms and embracing one of your other great loves of your life.
So happy to be here. Yeah, I've played water polo for much more than half of my life at this point, and I'm happy to be here. It's a great day for some polo, and looking forward to having it get started.
Players at either end, 8-minute first quarter about to come into action. Of course, if you're at all new to the sport, we begin here with a swim off.
And here they come.
Get our scoreboard into place. Your officials, Jason Crow and Matt Radke, put us into action, and it's DVC.
The Vikings have it.
DVC winning the swim-off. It is the number 2 cap, Olivia Sanchez, claiming it and tossing it back here to the 11, Chloe Pappas. Ball up here at the point.
Oh,
now
they
dumped
found
in
the 2-meter set, and it's an ejection called.
Okay, so we're going to have a man-up opportunity here, and immediately looking to take advantage.
Yes.
The assist from the top, fired home by Sophia Goodson, and the Vikings quickly lead 1-0.
That in and out, quick on the 6-on-5 can be such a good option for players that are on a power play. It's very effective.
Looking for the open space and able to find a one-on-one with the keeper in that moment. It'll be Santa Rosa now in their first attack. It's going to be Jada Andrews with the ball here at the right wing. Up to the point for Maddie West. Ordinary foul, and we'll have a restart. Ball worked into the center.
An ordinary foul at set. Okay. And, that overpass is such a hard one to make correctly. That's leading into the turnover. Nice defense on the part of the Vikings.
Doing well to keep things crowded on the interior. Ball lofted by the keeper, Sequoia Cosgrove Lane, a freshman out of College Park. And now in the hands of Laura. Out to the left side here in the corner. Off the rope, now dumped into the center. Nobody in that space for DVC.
Yeah, a little bit of a misfire on that pass to center.
And Riley West comes away with it. Santa Rosa, of course, in the white road caps. DVC, the home green. Vikings in the home green potentially for the final time this season, at least in a recognized home match. Of course, the ball.
Nice defense. She was in position to grab that steal. Didn't even get to the center player.
Ball over the top, intercepted there. Sophia Goodson, Vikings leading scorer, playing a little bit of D. Here's Olivia Sanchez, has a little room to move into.
Will she find the player on the cross? Let's see.
Up at the point right now, Elena Laura. Inside, Goodson.
Turning in, taking her time. Nicely done.
Sophia Goodson makes it 2 for the green and white.
Yeah, she's not afraid to really turn and then hold water there, take up her space. That was really nicely executed.
So a quick 2-0 here. The Vikings coming into play today with a record of 3-8 on the season, 1-4 inside the Big 8, but looking for their first conference win since a victory back on October 2nd against American River by a 10-7 score. They've been pretty competitive in the Big 8, though, against Modesto, just lost by 4 as we have a takeaway here for the Vikes. Cosgrove Lane waiting for her team to flood forward. Lauren Kagayong.
And a turnover called. Oops, and that's going to be an ejection for passing the ball after the turnover was already called.
Sort of a delay of game call almost in that situation.
And I mean, clearly she just didn't know what the call was. But yeah, if you're passing it away after the turnover's been called there, that's a technical ejection.
So Kagayong excluded for 20 seconds. It's a man-up opportunity. First of the game for Santa Rosa. It is Maddie West on the ball. Up top now, trying to go down low and batted away by DVC. That's Chloe Pappas on that one. The Vikings survive their first numerical disadvantage. They continue to maintain the lead 2-0. Starting to say, though, an 8-6 game against Fresno the week after the ARC game.
Oh,
Very
way
tight
to
one.
find the open player. Very nice pass. Really threading the needle on that one.
Brilliantly done there from Chloe Pappas, getting inside to Olivia Sanchez. Just her 5th goal of the season, and DVC make it 3-0. Substitution time here for Coach Jill McCormick. Few new caps into the pool. You see the 15 Riley Humble in. Perhaps just the one new player, actually. So far, Vikings have been able to victimize Amber Pineda on a couple of occasions here. Looking to go into the interior, and a shot just skims the crossbar out of the hand of Rose Williams.
They're getting Cosgrove laying the ball, and now she looks up pool.
That's going to go to the 10. Irene Priftis, one of 5 sophomores today. She looks to go inside again to Goodson.
A bad bounce on that pass. Gets the ball taken away.
Do you have any control at all, Chris, on how the ball bounces off
Absolutely.
of a moving surface? Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
The spin on it, the height on it, all of that makes a difference.
I'm learning a lot as we go through this here. New sport to me. I love adding to the repertoire as this is inside. A shot blocked at the point of attack and out. Vikings maintain the donut on the scoreboard for the time being, 3-0. Quick restart out to the 16, Madeline Lesquette. Up ahead now on the right wing to Chloe Pappas. She's got Stella Clarkson working on her, dumps it to the interior.
And an ordinary foul is called.
So ordinary fouls almost kind of, we'll talk about that in a second. As it's inside again, Olivia Sanchez can't quite get the grip on it.
Yep.
Well resisted by Maddie West. So an ordinary foul for the uneducated, that's basically just a restart for the offense. Is it generally an indirect thing? You got to pass it before you would have a chance to shoot?
Yes, correct. Unless you're outside of the 5, in which case you can shoot as long as you're picking it up and shooting it in one motion.
Gotcha.
So you can't just sit there and pump fake. Although actually with the new rules, there's been so many changes of rules since I started playing. I believe with the new rules, you're just live.
There's a shot from distance, drilled home by Jada Andrews.
Lovely corner.
Santa Rosa break their duck for Andrews, her 15th goal of the season. It's topped out at a hat trick. Back in the win against College of San Mateo, the one victory on the season for these Santa Rosa Bear Cubs. They're looking for their first win in conference for DVC, trying to jostle for position in the upcoming Big 8 tournament to be hosted here on November 7th through the 9th.
And a bit of an overpass there.
And dumped over the wrong shoulder, but Olivia Sanchez able to get to it.
And
now
a miscommunication.
It'll be a quick restart here for Rose Williams, interrupted at least initially by
lovely
Laura.
takeaway, and oops, just missed the cage.
Goodness gracious.
Great opportunity for the Vikings there.
Sophia Goodson nearly turning an error at one side into joy at the other. Long ball up ahead here to Stassi Holzhauser. Holzhauser continues to possess the defense from Olivia Sanchez.
Oh, and that was a ejection away from the ball at 2 meters.
Okay, so just occupying a place they're not allowed to be in, is that?
No, I think that was a physical play.
Gotcha.
So it usually, if it gets physical inside, it could be a turnover, but the ejection indicates that something a little bit more intense was going on.
So with the man-up opportunity, Rose Williams in the sin bin. DVC looking to take advantage. Currently in the hands of Lesquette. Up top, Priftis fires for the left corner, batted down by Pineda.
And a timeout is called.
All right, and we will take it with them here. 2:29 to go in first quarter action rather. Sorry, that's the soccer in my blood. 3-1 Vikings on top here. 2.5 minutes to go in the first.
I got nothing nice to say at all, but you keep taking me into the wall. You're not giving me a choice. Can you hear it in my voice? Getting under my skin, this ain't a fight you're gonna win. No, I don't wanna fight, I don't wanna cry, I don't wanna argue, I don't wanna talk. tonight.
I am feeling like I made a mistake, calling you up and then.
About to get back to game action here following the timeout. DVC with 3 early goals. Santa Rosa have gotten on the board recently, coming courtesy of Jada Andrews. Ball right now in the hand of the goalie. Up ahead in search of Andrews. That's going to be an exclusion there for number 4, Sophia Goodson. So man-up opportunity. Oh, and a second.
Second one.
Double power play, if you will. So both Goodson and Kagayong head to the exclusion area. And Santa Rosa with just 4 defenders to go up against. Worked over to the right side. That in the hand of Holtzhauser. Bit of a missed toss to Clarkson. 20 on the shot clock. Oh. And inside, and Santa Rosa make it 3-2. That one, I believe, coming out of the hand, was it the 12 or the 2?
2.
The 2, okay. So Maddie West, 10th goal, rather, of the season for her. And Santa Rosa close to within 1 here in the late part of this quarter. 2:04 left on the clock, presently blocked by the official. You really are in the midst of the action here at the pool. Like, it's a very closed-in zone here, and you're looking right through the official most of the time. It's not like a lot of sporting events I've been to. Kagayong will start with it, immediately attacked by Rose Williams. Madeline Lesquette. 5'4" sophomore attacker out of Liberty dumps it over to the right side for Goodson. Goodson backtracking under pressure from Riley West. Ordinary foul. We see a drive up top, but the ball's going to be into the interior, and it's Lauren Kagayong making it 4-2 DVC.
Quick hands on that one.
When they're in close quarters, you got to have that.
Yep.
The Vikings, we see the 8, Supicha Punparam. Soup to her teammates, Chris Kovac tells me. She comes in, as well as Chloe Pappas back into the game. The moment, otherwise, it's Loera, Goodson, Priftis, and Sanchez in front of the keeper, Cosgrove Lane. For Santa Rosa, ball worked around the perimeter, now down low in search of Riley West, trying to work through 3 DVC defenders, and no luck.
Excellent crashing there. Good help for the 2-meter defender.
Quickly ahead, DVC looking to attack through Priftis. Araney, the sophomore out of Concord, tries to put it into the left side for Goodson. Nothing doing.
I think she had her elbow snagged there.
So maybe an uncalled foul there?
No, just good defense.
Okay.
The contact's part of the sport.
Holtzhauser up ahead, again looking in the interior, and again DVC crashing, and it's Chloe Pappas with the takeaway. Inside the final minute of play here in this first quarter, Vikings ahead 4-2. The debut of water polo here on DVC Vikings Live. We'll be back for the entire final day of the Big 8 tournament coming up in a few weeks as the Vikings attack again. It's Chloe Pappas, top corner.
What a corner. Really great looking shot there.
And so after getting up 3-0, DVC had it closed to 3-2. They've now managed to push that lead back up to 3 here in the late going of the first period. In search of a second conference win today. They're 1-4 inside the Big 8. As we told you, a couple of competitive losses to Modesto and Fresno alongside that win over ARC. You figure if they can get themselves playing against one of the middle teams, they might have a decent shot at making a semifinal. 5-second difference between game clock and shot clock. 8 to shoot at the moment as it's dumped down low to Clarkson. Backhand and a goal for Santa Rosa.
Over the head.
Well, the Bear Cubs, they are frisky, no doubt. Just 11 seconds left for the Vikings to do a little something about this here. They'll start dumping it straight back to Cosgrove Lane. We'll see if she takes a rip from the very back. She'll leave that here. Pappas to the right side, and they don't get a shot off before the final whistle of this first quarter, or the final horn, rather. Whistles followed the horns. It's all good, but that'll take us to our first break. We're going to take a moment, as we do on DVC Vikings Live, and take you around the horn. And so a quick look at what's going on elsewhere in DVC athletics. Football, currently 3-3 on the season. They debuted inside their conference, the Bay 6, on Friday, facing off with number 3 San Mateo. 27-14, a loss there, mainly conditioned by 3 Viking turnovers. DVC had it at 17-14 with 2 minutes left in the third, but San Mateo, the Bulldogs, always a tough squad to face, and they closed with 10 unanswered points, despite the efforts of Teddy Burris and David Piero, you see there. They're in action on Saturday. They'll be taking on San Joaquin Delta just after the 75th anniversary DVC festivities, the alumni tailgate starting at 11 a.m. We hope you'll join us for that. We're going to take a break here for just a moment, and we'll be back with the second quarter here on DVC Vikings Live. Back here from Rick Millington Pool at the DVC Aquatic Center. Fresh buildings here, at the very least exteriors, but my goodness, the pool, I remember this thing came into existence, it felt like very slowly and then all at once. And I came back in the fall semester, went to do a yoga thing, looked outside and went, whoa, what is that? So it's been a delightful thing getting to see this broken in as we start second quarter action here. Vikings lead 5-3. Joe Hickey joined by Chris Koblich here on DVC Vikings Live in the opening swim-off of the second quarter, won this time by Santa Rosa. The ball in the hands of Riley West. So a first quarter, Chris, DVC getting out to a quick lead, seeing it very nearly vanish, and then managing to push their way back out again.
That's right. I'm still feeling fairly confident in their ability to capitalize on opportunities. I know that we're early in the game, but I'm feeling okay, especially now after that takedown from Sequoia Cosgrove Lane. She made that look easy. Good work there to deny Rose Williams. Up inside, and DVC with their first attack coming of second quarter play. An attempted takeaway by Santa Rosa. Foul instead, and it'll be, oh goodness, not quite enough on that pass from Priftis. That's going to be a turnover. Didn't quite make it over the defender there. It was the right pass to make. Up ahead on the break, it's 2-on-1 at least in terms of attackers and defenders, but it's going to be Cosgrove Lane having to face down Rose Williams, and she manages to wait just long enough and tip it away. So what's going on underneath the water there to keep yourself up long enough to actually get something on that? She's doing egg beater, so she's spinning each leg kind of one at a time in these circles that are propelling her up out of the water.
I imagine that has got to be very tiring. Ball over to Olivia Sanchez on the right side. Cross-court pass up to the top to Chloe Pappas. Might have had a lane. Instead, they'll go down low into the wing. Back up to Pappas.
I like the way they're taking their time here. They're able to observe. The passes are going to the team. They're looking, and they expose that that corner of the goal and then find it with the ball.
It's Elena Loera striking the first blow of this second quarter. 6-3 Vikings now on top. Her first goal today. Both teams have spread it around quite a bit. Only player with multiple goals by our count is Sophia Goodson with 2. Otherwise, Sanchez, Kagayong, Pappas, and Laura now with 1 apiece. Jada Andrews, Stella Clarkson, and Riley West on the Santa Rosa side as well. But yeah, they put it into that corner once, and I imagine seeing a little bit of what Santa Rosa did in response to that, figured let's work it back around and try and get there a little quicker this next time.
That's right. Yeah. Those angled shots are really effective on the 6-on-5 because the goalie is having to move so far.
Oof, nice lofted shot in the meanwhile from Rose Williams, who's got her first goal of the day, and that's going to be 6-4 as the answer immediately from Santa Rosa Junior College. It reminds me as a soccer commentator quite regularly of the value of a good chipped shot, particularly in the women's game, just due to the stature of the players by and large. It's a very effective thing if you can get a little loop on it, and right there, able to guide it over the top and back down.
Absolutely, yeah. Lobs can be really, really hard to defend against.
It's Elena Laura over to Madeline Lesquette. Currently the two of them out here with Priftis, Goodson, Pappas, and Sanchez, and there's a takeaway right at the half-tank line, and a quick break here from the 12, Addison Klosevitz, rather. Simple foul and a restart, Klosevitz.
Really nice cover on the part of the Viking defense there.
Yeah, able to recover on the original break, and there, just lurking in a passing lane is Chloe Pappas, and DVC with the takeaway. Vikings will bring it up the other side on a quick break. 4 DVC players driving towards the goal. Drop back here to Lesquette. To the point for Sanchez. Takes a rip from distance, took a deflection on the way through, and it's a goal. Olivia Sanchez definitely with her second goal there, taking the shot. At first I wasn't sure if it was Laura that deflected it or the Santa Rosa defender. But I believe it was the Santa Rosa player. Certainly John Brown has credited that to the number 2 for DVC, the 5'5" freshman out of Liberty. Just enough power to get through the hand of the Bear Cub defender. Vikings make a substitution. Tara Weidman out of San Ramon Valley in with the number 20 cap. Pressure here by Sophia Goodson working on Jada Andrews. Ordinary foul and another one here. Restart to come here from Holzhauser. Out there with Jada Andrews right now alongside Stella Clarkson. Ball coming inside to Rose Williams in a forest of green caps. Trying to go back the other way, and Olivia Sanchez finds position, absorbs contact, and DVC will have possession. Sometimes nice to just let the sounds of the pool speak for themselves here. This proud day here, sophomore day for the DVC women, and later on, of course, for the men as well. Actually, the men, it might not be sophomore day. I think they've got a game against Cabrillo coming up. Ordinary foul on the inside. Ball played out to Weidman.
She was looking for that back. She wanted that quick shot.
We've got an exclusion here and a man-up opportunity. Pappas fires.
Nice.
No problem there. 8-4 Vikes.
Nobody was on her, and she just kept moving in. She really took advantage of having that open water in front of her until she got to the angle she wanted, and then just let it fly.
Beautifully done there. Chloe Pappas with her second, the freshman out of Northgate. Came into play today with 15 goals and 8 assists on the season. Had 4 in the victory against American River. Has come up big in big moments. With that one, doubles things up here. The Vikings on top 8-4. Goodson on the attack, and Jada Andrews absorbs the contact. Another foul there committed by Pappas. It is Addison Klasevitz. Dumped over to the left side, and it's I wanted to say a foot race, but it's a whole body race there between Cosgrove Lane and Stella Clarkson. Vikings take over possession. Goodson up ahead, sees the drive of Weidman. Weidman dribbling her way in, 2 meters away.
Penalty shot called.
Absorbs the contact and earns DVC the penalty throw. Didn't get my head up in time to see the 5 signal. That's why you bring reinforcements here. Thank you, Chris. The southpaw Weidman. At least according to our stats, as she fires that home, her first collegiate goal for Tara Weidman. Takes the penalty that she earned and puts DVC up 9-4.
What a huge smile she had after that. So fun to see.
Has had 9 appearances, has not started this season, a super sub for the green and white. But a lot of defensive effort over the course of the season. Finally gets to shine on the offensive end, driving and creating that penalty. We've got a timeout meanwhile as the Vikings have pushed their lead to 5 halfway through the second quarter. We'll take the break right alongside them here on DVC Vikings Live. 9-4, Vikings on top here, just a little over halfway through the second quarter. DVC in search of that second conference win and a third win on the trot after a very successful weekend in Novato at the Marin crossover. 2 victories there, 18-6 over LOSPO and 15-7 over the hosts Marin, as that is collected by Cosgrove Lane. Empty trip for the Bear Cubs. This one over the top for Weidman. Gets her head up just in time.
And she's making for the cage.
Well, she's got a taste for it now.
Yep. Oh, she pulls it out and looks for her teammates.
Good drive from the top there as it's going to be fed. Chloe Pappas looking for a third. Fires off the cage. Rebound and the score. DVC into double figures, and it's Olivia Sanchez who completes her hat trick moments after Pappas was denied.
Pappas finds Wood on that, but Sanchez was there to pick up what we call pick up the garbage.
There you go.
Get the garbage.
They all count. Now, I don't know if this is the case in water polo, but I know that in soccer, a shot that hits the woodwork isn't actually counted as a shot on goal, and it seems just silly to me. Does water polo differentiate stat-wise between shots and shots on goal?
No, as far as I know.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the stats I've seen. As far as I can tell, it doesn't seem like there are 2 separate columns. That one dumped in a little long for the 10. Clarkson up with it is Sequoia Cosgrove Lane.
And Sophia Goodson's on the counterattack.
Long balls just over the top. Just absolutely in stroke. Elena Laura able to claim that. 2 defenders collapse to her. She finds the open woman. Inside now looking for Clarkson, a little short.
And an ejection is called.
And so a man-up opportunity as Riley Humble will have to leave the fray for just a moment. DVC have profited well off of these chances with the extra player. That seems to be the open one there, Lesquette. A lot of hands up. She'll go out wide, Laura. Back up to the point for Sanchez, already with a hat trick. Here's Goodson looking for the top right corner, but she will miss. Empty trip, one of the few times the Vikings haven't capitalized on an exclusion. Inside 2 minutes to go here in first half action. Vikings with a healthy lead here, having gotten into double figures. Olivia Sanchez came into the day with 4 goals on the season. She's got 3 just in the last 14 minutes. Ball in the hands right now of Taylor Owen as she tries to dump it down low. Well defended in a battle of tens there. Rainey Priftis able to deny Stella Clarkson any chance at that one as Cosgrove Lane looks for the outlet. Goodson.
Way to find the open player there in the center, and they collapse in on her, and the ball is taken.
Yeah, Poonparam with a good drive. The ball just a little bit behind her perhaps on that pass, but very, very good movement off the ball for the Vikings.
And good defense from the Santa Rosa Bear Cubs as well.
Credit given where credit is due. Thank you for that. Jada Andrews here at the half-tank line. Battles continuing here with Stella Clarkson. It's now worked over to Klasevitz. Look to take an immediate shot, does the 12 Klasevitz, and it's wide left. Quick restart inside a minute to play here. Ball over the right side in search of Elena Laura. She'll dump it down low, and the shot into the top right corner out of the hand of Madeline Lesquette, who joins the scoring party. 11-4 Vikes. DVC, it seems, just that motion off the ball really allowing them to find some lanes for passes that might be a little unexpected. Though that diagonal ball coming from up top in towards the center has been really effective the last few trips down.
Absolutely. And I think that Lesquette was able to take a minuscule advantage and really make the most of it there.
45 seconds left, likely the final trip down the tank for Santa Rosa in this first half.
So important for them to score here. This is they really want to turn the tide going into halftime. We'll see if they can make it.
Yeah, just a single goal here in this second quarter. Recall it was 5-3 through one period as DVC get the turnover. Shot clock is off. 22 seconds left, but the Vikings so far have outscored Santa Rosa 6-1 in the period and have staked themselves to a big 7-goal advantage. Elena Laura trying to dump it in again, this time batted away by the defender. Still alive, Goodson fires it home. She's got a hat trick, and DVC make it a dozen here just 8 seconds before the break. And again, the garbage cleanup duty has done well. We saw, I believe it was Supicha Poonparam who had 2 defenders collapse to her and bat her shot away. But of course, in springing that double team, you give Goodson a little bit too much space. No problem there. Time ticking down. It's going to be a shot from distance. No problem for Cosgrove Lane. And that brings our second quarter to an end and sends us to the halftime break here at DVC. 12-4 Vikings on top. Chris, what did you see the Vikings doing so well in that second quarter to build this advantage?
You know, I think that they're really aware of where all of the players are in the pool, and I see them making such smart passes, including into the 2-meter players. They're really finding the open woman, and I think that they've been able to take advantage of that.
Excellent. Well, DVC outscoring Santa Rosa 7-1 in period number 2, and they are staked to a big 12-4 advantage as we go to the halftime break. We'll see you back here in about 5 minutes for the second half of Vikings Bear Cubs on DVC Vikings Live.
time is now. Yeah, the time is now. It seems we never get enough time. Take advantage when you're here, not the other side. This life is do or die. Cut the flowers and you give them with a lot of pride. Do it now and yes, I'm asking for a little time. How's your life doing? How's your little kids? Young kings in the world full of funny biz. I wish that I could turn back the clock, cause this aftershock got me shook like the Giants and A's rock. I need to know if you could take up some space. Talk to me now and now when I can never see your face. I don't want no regrets or waste. I just wanna say what's up and give you a warm embrace. You've been there for me, went to war for me. Never needed backup cause we were our own army. Your mother doing well, you got stories to tell. I'ma give you both ears, I'ma listen real well. Time is now, the time is now. Yeah, the time is now, the time is now. For many of us, our time is cut so short. There's plenty of us who no longer play on the court. I light a little candle when I feel I can't handle. Life be getting wild like a horse you can't wrangle. See me in the street, you know my heart holds you dear. Come and talk to a brother, it's the last frontier. The memories can only hold you up for so long. Time is all we got, so give it now, hold it strong. I find myself asking your advice when I'm alone. They say it gets better, now my heart is made of stone. I can't swim, or I'ma sink to the bottom. I check the hands on the clock, minutes still got them. So if I got time, and you got time, let's build something now that we could take to the divine. If all you need is my time, then just let me know. I tell you this cause I know you do the same for sure.
Players getting back into the pool here as the halftime break comes to a close. Chris, if you're coaching over there for Santa Rosa, what do you feel like they are discussing at this point to try to tighten things up and get themselves back into this game?
I think that they're probably talking about matching up and maybe being a little bit more cautious on passes on offense, because I think that a lot of those passes have led to turnovers, which have led to counterattacks, which have led to Viking goals.
It'll be Santa Rosa getting started and looking for that more organized, perhaps more patient offense that Chris Koblich has referred to. Chris here, Joe Hickey on the play-by-play. We've got Sky on the camera work here, making sure you've got the good visuals. This one's dumped inside, an immediate strike here. 5th goal of the day, and it comes courtesy of number 5, Rose Williams, her 2nd.
Those off-speed shots are so difficult for a keeper. You're ready for a hard shot, you're ready for a lob, but that kind of in-between off-speed is just so tough.
In discussions I've had with Trisha Kwan, we talk a lot about how water polo seems to have like elements of maybe 6 different sports in it, and what you're describing there suddenly to me starts to sound like baseball. They talk about the idea that hitting is timing and pitching is upsetting timing. I gather goalkeeping as well. Similar sort of thing as the ball's taken away from Sophia Goodson on the interior. Maddie West on the takeaway. Pineda will lob this forward. Her 9th appearance on the season in goal. Also has a number 6 cap.
And Klosevic is open on the cross pass. We'll see if they can find her. No. Goodson takes the ball away. That's lucky for the Vikings.
Yeah, lost somebody there in man marking, and DVC looking for the counter. Good pass ahead by Goodson, looking for Kagayong, dribbles into space, picks it up, fires it home, and Lauren's got her 2nd of the day. Lucky number 13 for the green and white. Kagayong came in with 6 goals on the season, 9 assists to lead all Vikings, and had 1 and 3 against College of Marin in the second of the Vikings' victories in Novato over the weekend. DVC with a quick response to the Rose Williams goal on the tasty bit of off-speed. Stassi Holzhauser trying to go for the lob over the top of Cosgrove Lane. Too tall. Knocks it down. Vikings up ahead here as Lesquette gets it to Goodson, dumps that into space. Laura trying to get there ahead of the 5 Williams. Battling, lobbing over the top and scoring for DVC. Vikings getting it done here in the early going. As we mentioned, a 7-1 second quarter, responsible for getting Santa Rosa at arm's length. West trying to keep Goodson at arm's length as she dumps a ball in towards Riley West. Over to the right side, Klasevitz. She lobs that over the top. Cosgrove Lane got a piece of it, but it still nestles its way in for a 6th for Santa Rosa.
Beautiful shot there off of the cross, or not the crossbar, but the post.
I have a weird time saying one of those when I mean the other as well. I do it constantly in soccer. I hits the post and I still say crossbar. It's good to be reassured it can happen to anybody. Substitution time as Jada Andrews will come in place of Rose Williams for the Bear Cubs. Elena Laura to Lauren Kagayong. Dumped into the center for Goodson. In a physical battle there with the 12, Klasevitz manages to spin around her, and she will fire home her 4th of the day and 33rd of this 2024 season. Vikings make it 15.
She really loves that offside turn. Typically when a player is turning, the ball kind of is lagging them, but she's turning almost to her backhand side. So it's a really unusual move that I've seen her use several times to good effect so far today.
It's gotten her the leading goal total here, which she has for the season as well for the green and white, 33 now after coming in with 29. Had 6 against Las Positas over the weekend and also 4 in the victory over AR. Last year scored 47. Little ways to go there, but hopefully a handful more games, particularly in the Big 8 tournament, to try to add to that total as the newly inserted Julieta Cazares commits an ordinary foul up there on Jada Andrews. Alongside her, Keona Perseveranata, Chloe Pappas, Irene Priftis as the shot is fired home. Was that the 11 or the 13 on that one?
11.
11 there. Riley West with her second. Leading goal scorers on both teams have scored on back-to-back possessions. West there with her 20th of the season. And she'll immediately come off for a sub. Back into the fray is Rose Williams. Starting to tell you, DVC here with a few players that haven't seen a ton of time yet today. Sapicha Pumparam, Julieta Cazares, Chloe Pappas, Olivia Sanchez, Irene Priftis, and Keone Perseveranata. As that shot goes wide and a little bit high.
Love the opportunity, though. So she just kind of stopped in no man's land and waited for the ball, and then her teammates found her.
Updating the scoreboard here, it is 15-7 in favor of the Vikings as Rose Williams double-teamed inside by Perseveranata and Pappas. And they'll work the takeaway. Cosgrove Lane looking to spring the counter on the right side. Here comes Irene Priftis. Ooh, nice little hesitation as she works her way around the 10, Clarkson. Absorbs a foul and now will dump it onto the interior for Pappas. Pappas still sitting on a hat trick, was denied by the crossbar in the second quarter, loses out that time to Stassi Holzhauser. Holzhauser receives it here on the counter for Santa Rosa. 2 players to look for moving in the center are Clarkson and Klasevitz. She will look to lob that over the top of Cosgrove Lane. What a tasty shot there.
Ooh, that hurts.
So you're mentioning to me your husband is a goalkeeper.
He is, yes.
What positions have you played?
I'm mostly a 2-meter defender.
Okay. So does that hurt you as a defender, or particularly as the wife of a keeper?
The wife of a keeper. The keepers hate the lobs.
Yeah. Yeah, you talk to soccer goalies, and that's exactly how they feel too. Vikings, DVC Vikings soccer team is coached by a University of Maryland goalkeeper, so she and I both Terps. And Colleen Mullins talks a lot about just the absolute helpless feeling when that thing just has the right arc, and you're like, oh, I got no chance at this.
You know it's over your head.
Hit something wooden, please. That's all you're praying for at that point. Casares on the turnover there. Is that something of a ward-off in that situation, perhaps, as she tried to back up?
I'm not sure. It might have been that she didn't put the ball in play.
Well, it goes right back the other way. Olivia Sanchez got inside, managed to take it away from Klasevitz. Works to the left. Good hard drive by Supicha Punpirom. Looking for her first tally of the day. She fires and scores.
She has so much time in there. I really like that she was able to not be rushed. Excellent pass from Olivia Sanchez finding her teammate.
A good find and a really good drive there. Just that run from deep, as you might call it. And a shift change. It's an entirely new lineup coming in for the green and white. I think Cosgrove Lane, the only one staying out there. Supicha Punpirom, freshman out of Albany, with her third goal of the season and first of the encounter. Goodson, Kagayong, Lesquette, Weidman, Laura, and Lewis. Sienna Lewis out there for the green and white. Sienna Lewis coming off of recording her first goal as a collegian. That coming against Las Positas College. She would then add 2 against Marin. It's Lesquette, though, the other way, coming on the counter. She's got a chance to go one-on-one with Pineda and buries it. 17-8 Vikings. Oh, correction. No, okay.
Lesquette.
Okay, yeah, it was Lesquette. I briefly had concerns. Oh, a yellow card shown. To see if we can get a little more information about that. I couldn't quite hear what the referee was indicating from the far side.
I think he's seeing some action away from the ball and wanting to squash any kind of altercation before it really gets going.
Wise move here. The officiating crew, Jason Crow and Matt Radke, looking to keep a leash on this one here. Not an uncommon thing as a match gets a touch out of hand to see it potentially get a little chippy as Goodson over the top looking to take a ball away from Klasevitz.
They're calling for the ball out so that the referees can discuss the call. It's going to be a jump ball.
I didn't know we had those in this sport. Okay,
Yep.
All right. So yet another basketball element coming in here for me.
Yeah, so this happens when the referee isn't quite sure whose advantage it should be. There's been something ambiguous about the play, and so he's going to try to throw the ball directly in between the players, and they're sort of jockeying for position, and a lot of times it's whose arm ends up being longer.
I gather the first one he decided was a little too close to one as opposed to the other. DVC went out, and it's a great pass over the top looking for Lesquette. She is in battle here with Clarkson, fires it off the crossbar.
Finds wood on that one.
Santa Rosa coming the other way. It was 12-4 at the halftime break. DVC leading the quarter 5-4. Santa Rosa have managed to double their goal total, but having a hard time getting enough stops to really eat into the Viking advantage. DVC have continued to hold them at arm's length. Riley Humble with the ball right now. 4 seconds to shoot. Needs to get something off quick. And getting pushed back and back and back by Lesquette, and that is going to run out the shot clock. Suffocating defense by the 16 in green and white. Hard pass across to the left side. Up with it is Sienna Lewis. 3 goals over the weekend. Maybe thinking about another shot. She'll fire. Pineda knocks it down. It's a race between her and Weidman. Weidman does get to it, but a foul whistled
That's a ball under that was called.
Okay. Okay, so ball under, you're not allowed to drag it underneath
Correct.
yourself to defend it. Right.
Yeah. So she puts her hand on top of the ball and pushes it under the water as she's picking it up. It's why all the coaching and drills try to get you to pick it up from the side or underneath.
Gotcha. Contact up top between Kagayong and Maddie West, and we've got an exclusion here that's going to go against Tara Weidman.
A lot of times when the score is a little bit lopsided, you'll see the referees start to make calls that are protecting the team that's down a little bit, giving them some more opportunities occasionally. I mean, I think that was a legitimate call, but it's maybe something that wouldn't have been called if the score was a little tighter here.
Okay, so basically it's like what happens when you play Madden and you're kicking too much butt. And the computer's like, no. Ball put back into play after the exclusion. Man-up opportunity here for Santa Rosa. Worked over to the right side here. Ruby Hunt now around the perimeter, and a shot from the point. That's Maddie West firing it home. Santa Rosa make it 17-9 here. Definitely a better quarter so far here with 1:25 to go for Santa Rosa. They've played it level at 5-5. Anything you're seeing here, Chris, that Santa Rosa is doing substantially better? I know you were talking a bit about their composure on the attack when we came back from the halftime break.
Yeah, I think they are. There's been fewer counterattacks, but I think that could also just be the effect of the personnel in the pool.
Sophia Goodson adding another to her tally. That's 5 on the day.
Once again, that backhand turn. She loves that move.
Yeah, it is such an unusual thing. I gather just a tough one to try and resist the instinct to cut off one side, and just she's taking full advantage of that just not being the first instinct for a defender.
It means that the defender's probably not entirely balanced on her. A counter spin would take that away and probably net a steal, but it is a risky move to make for a defender. So I think that perhaps whoever she's matched up on hasn't quite had the experience of having that back unusual kind of backhand turn.
Taylor Owen on the ball right now, and it's a takeaway for Chloe Pappas. Into the fray as well for her first action today. Monija Azizi, her 7th appearance of the season for the sophomore out of Dozier Libby. There's a ball up ahead. Chloe Pappas continuing, driving, dribbling up against the 13, and a turnover there. Is that another one, another ball held under?
I didn't see it.
At any rate, 32 seconds left, 9-second difference between shot and game clock, as Santa Rosa now down 9. Look to see if they can at least level the scores on the quarter, and that one looks to have slipped a bit out of the hand of Taylor Owen and goes high and wide. DVC will have their final possession of this third quarter here. 20 seconds left. Shot clock is off.
Oh, we've got a developing advantage on the one side. Oh, and everybody's matched up again. That good pressure on Chloe Pappas was able to prevent her from passing the ball and finding that advantage.
And with 3 seconds left, a turnover. Santa Rosa take over again, launch it forward, clock ticking, and they will not have time to get off a shot. For good measure, Alex Renderos taking it away, and that is going to take us to our third quarter break. DVC on top 18-9 as we break here on DVC Vikings Live. look at what's to come here this week at DVC. It's a busy one. Vikings soccer was in action yesterday along with DVC volleyball. Tomorrow, men's hoops opens up their official season after a handful of scrimmages against Napa Valley College. Friday is a busy one as well. Volleyball will be at Sacramento City. Men's water polo will be here at the pool taking on Cabrillo. And soccer will be up the road in Rockland at 3:30 taking on the #1 team in NorCal, Sierra College. Meanwhile, Saturday, San Joaquin Delta comes to town to face off with Vikings football. That one of the cornerstones or capstones of the celebration of DVC's 75th anniversary. And come on down for the tailgate at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Here in DVC Athletics. We are back underway here for fourth quarter action. Opening swim-off claimed again by Santa Rosa. If my mental count is correct, I believe 3-1 their advantage on the day on the swim-offs. Vikings won it in the first quarter, have not done so since.
That's my mental count as well. So clearly there's speed on the Santa Rosa side.
Oh, for sure, and so maybe just a matter of trying to figure out how to take best advantage of that and find those open spaces. Shot from distance off the woodwork from Jada Andrews. Cosgrove Lane happy to thank her cage for a moment there to keep the goal count down. Santa Rosa remain in single figures. DVC doubling them up 18-9 here as it's Keona Perseveranata on the ball at the moment. Pressure coming from the two, Maddie West. Ball dumped inside, looking to get turned is Laura. She does, rises, scores.
So that's the much more traditional strong side turn as opposed to the backhand turn.
Well, that one a very effective strong side turn.
Definitely. The defender looked surprised. It was not anywhere nearby.
Well, getting lulled to sleep by the Sophia Goodson tactics, and you mix up the personnel, you mix up the preferences, and next thing you know, you got goal number 19 in the back of the net. Turnover at the far end. Stassi Holzhauser loses out. Chloe Pappas in possession. DVC here with Olivia Sanchez with a hat trick. Sophia Goodson with 5 on the day. Multiple goals as well from Kagayong and Chloe Pappas as they've built up a 10-goal advantage. Dumped into the center, Laura looking for another. Oh, tried to float that one over the top of Pineda, and even with her head down, able to put up a paw and knock it down.
And Weideman got hung up on the counterattack there, so will be called out.
And it looks like Santa Rosa, did we just see the third timeout called by our guests today, I believe? Or maybe not. I saw a T signal.
Yeah.
Is that a technical foul of some sort?
No, it is a timeout. There's two different types of timeouts.
Okay.
One is just a 20-seconder where you just go down and set up, and the other is a fuller minute-long pause.
Gotcha. I see. So, yeah, clock never rose up to, or never flipped over to count off a minute or anything like that. So it is Santa Rosa on the attack after the 20-second timeout.
A lot of times when you get a call on the turnover like that, you'll take a timeout so that you don't have to take the transition time, and you can just come right down to the front court and set up.
Gotcha. DVC after the turnover by Santa Rosa. Back on the attack. Looking for goal number 20. It's Chloe Pappas on the left side. Clarkson closing to her. Puts that up to the point for Priftis. Priftis locked in battle with Riley West. Tries to dump it down low for Goodson. Goodson fires for the top right corner. She's got 6. DVC's got 20. Definitely a nice thing getting to see Sophia Goodson at full effect today. We've seen that weak side turn on a handful of occasions to bamboozle defenders. That one just rising and firing, accurate from distance.
We'll have to see if Kwan puts in an all-sophomore lineup for sophomore day.
Let's see, what would that look like if she did? We'd have Azizi, Goodson, Cazares, Priftis, Lesquette. Those are your 5 sophomores today, so we would need one more. And, of course, Cosgrove Lane, the freshman out of College Park. She'll be back. Started every match of this season for the Vikings. We've seen all of those players at least at various points, so might be nice to see them together in the late going. Ball worked inside, backpedaling and trying to fire goalward, but it is wide from Riley West. Launched out to the right side for Kagayong. Puts that into the corner here for the arrival of Laura. Laura, whose name I will be pronouncing correctly from here on out in Around the Horn coverage on soccer matches. I was going phonetically. I was educated by the manager, Caitlin, who has been doing a little bit of everything for us today as the Vikings lose possession. Clock continuing to run here as Pineda swims out to the corner to flag that down.
So the strategy there is for them to put the ball in the corner to make the keeper really have to swim, which eats up the front court clock.
Right. I didn't realize that was allowed. It felt like a was that done intentionally without there having been a turnover, or just kind of threw it down there because they weren't going to take a shot?
They were about to run out of time on their shot clock, and so it's a tradition.
Got it. Okay. Learning all sorts of things as we've got a goal here scored by the number 12, Addison Klasevitz from the left side. And that's going to get the Bear Cubs into double figures here, 20-10. A little more than half of our fourth quarter remaining here for the DVC Vikings, and looks like we're going to have a shift change of sorts. Let's see if we do get that lineup. Casares is part of it. But I do not see Azizi, so... well, no, wait, there she is. Maybe. It would be a lovely way to finish things off. It does look like DVC, barring an epic disaster in the last 4-13, are going to go to 4-8 on the season. 2-4 inside the Big 8 Conference, and that should lock up a decent seed. I believe that'll put them at 5th out of the 7 squads, and so that's a big one if you look at the way that the bracket is built. The number 1 team gets a bye straight into the semifinals, and then you have 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. You get to 5, you get to play a team like maybe a Fresno or a Modesto, a team that you've nearly had some success against, didn't lose big like the Vikings did to the likes of Sierra or top-of-the-table Delta. You certainly put yourself in with a chance of a semifinal berth and then see what you can do when you get to that point where a berth in a final is on the line.
I think this is a team that's really improved over the course of the season so far. And, you know, the tougher the teams they play, the more they improve.
Vikings in possession as we reach the halfway point of this fourth quarter. Ball batted out of the hands and then held under the water by Kagayong, and it's going to be Riley West coming away with it for Santa Rosa, dumping it back to her teammate Taylor Owen.
Tough call for Kagayong. She can't be happy about that one. She had both of her hands up, trying to show that it wasn't her taking the ball underwater.
Call goes the way of the Caps in white. Inside here, looking to get turned for a backhand, but a bit too far away to try the shot from there for Stella Clarkson. Easy prey for the Vikings keeper, and that's Sonia Kumari, seeing her first action of today's match, and just her second game in action. She debuted last week here against Delta. Vikings at the other end. Chloe Pappas at long last has her hat trick, and DVC make it 21. Blackjack.
So tricky to sub a keeper, even in the fourth quarter. I can say from experience, they get up in their heads.
We see out there right now Casares, Priftis, Laura, Kagayong, Pappas, and Goodson. Santa Rosa currently in possession. Going under on the ordinary foul is Klasevitz.
That's a failure to put the ball in play.
So Klasevitz loses possession there. DVC look to counterattack, and they do have someone looking to cherry pick at the far end, Chloe Pappas. Elect not to feed her. Laura has got a ton of space to swim into. Now over the top, Kagayong fires. Hat trick for Lauren.
Goodson was also incredibly open. So she would have had the cross pass even if she hadn't made that shot.
Yeah, certainly a quick restart there, and Santa Rosa did not seem ready to defend. Vikings with spaces all over the place to try to take advantage of, and take advantage they did.
DVC moves to 22.
22-10. Resounding victory here today with 2:30 left on the clock. Of course, we've got the men's game coming up on the other side of a break. Corey Dolly's men looking to build on last week's 18-17 victory over San Joaquin Delta, which, if I'm reading the box score correctly, was scoreless through the entire fourth quarter as that's dumped into the corner. Shot clock running down. And now, get to apply my learning right out of the gate. Dumped down in the corner, and Sonia Kamari's going to get her laps in. In the meanwhile, though, Vikings making substitutions. And so we do have now Lesquette Sanchez. I'm going to wait until some people have left before I try to figure this out. It's
chaos in there.
So we got Perseveranada, Sanchez, Lesquette, Monija Azizi, Sapicha Punperom, and Sienna Lewis into the game. And Sonia Kamari has the ball put to her to restart. So we haven't seen the all-sophomore lineup, but I think we've seen every sophomore get in there one last time in the home pool, at least here in the regular season. Of course, the weird thing about all this is that the Vikings will assuredly play another home game because they've got Big 8 tournament action coming up in the first full weekend of November. So that ball put over the top by Lewis, looking for the run of Azizi, but nothing doing. Pineda up over the top, miscommunication, and Rose Williams doesn't realize it's coming. That's picked off, and we're coming back the other way with Punpidom. She's got right beside her Sienna Lewis. We'll see if she looks to feed. Nope, a little fake of the feed, and then fires it home. 23-10, 97 seconds left in this one.
So Azizi is so important in that play. Even though she doesn't get the ball, her action and coming down hard towards the cage really make her defender have to stay home on her.
Oh, exactly, and certainly it conditions what the goalkeeper might do in that moment as well. You could consider coming out big to try to close down the woman with the ball, but you know in that case, she gets it away. You just got an empty cage to fire at.
Absolutely.
Rose Williams on it here. 1:21 left. Fresh shot clock. Ball in the hands of Ruby Hunt at the moment.
Ejection called away from the ball.
Oh.
Not sure what happened there, but the Santa Rosa Bear Cubs are on the power play.
And it's going to be Azizi in the sin bin right now. Ball work to the left side. A shot. Kamari the save. Perhaps with a little help from the woodwork. Out of the hands of Taylor Owen. Timeout taken. That's going to be by, I believe, DVC this time around. And we'll see if that's for the purpose of substitution. Maybe we are going to get what we were discussing. Well, nope. Annalise Mariles, who debuted on Friday against College of Marin with the number 19 cap, comes in, as does Julieta Cazares. Renderos out there as well with Lesquette, working their way into the front court. And then Sienna Lewis at the left, Olivia Sanchez on the right, up top as DVC go into the final minute of action here, up 23-10. Dominant performance from the green and white. Good work there to find the open woman. And here comes the shot from Renderos and a goal for DVC. Great feed there from Casares.
Absolutely. She really took her time in the center there and then was able to find the one player, or the player at the one position.
Oh, the positions have numbers?
Oh, yes.
Oh, we're going to talk about that during the men's game then.
Sure.
That's my favorite thing. Heck, in soccer, you refer to most of the positions as numbers, and used to be that those were the jersey numbers you wore, too. Nowadays, everybody's got their own number that they're attached to, and merchandising and all that, so they still do it down at the lower levels in Italy, at least. I know that. My team being in the lower levels. 24-10, 20 seconds left, 10 on the shot clock here. Final possession for Santa Rosa, and another stop for Sonia Kamari. And the DVC bench explodes with joy. Final moments here as the ball's launched forward. Lesquette's going to hold on to it. No final shot. Drop back to Kamari. And that is your ball game here. DVC come out with the victory. Second one here in conference. And they're third on the trot to go to 4-8 on the season. Chris Koblich, one heck of a performance from the green and white today.
Absolutely. And, you know, Sonia Kamari in there in the end as the backup keeper, I think she probably felt a lot of pressure to maintain Cosgrove Lane's record. And she was really able to make some nice stops. So I'm really happy to see that.
No, did very, very well. And the Vikings led by 6 goals from Sophia Goodson. Hat tricks as well from Olivia Sanchez, Lauren Cagayong, and Chloe Pappas. And they get it done here today, putting up a cool 24 on the board. 24-10, your final. So we'll be back on the other side of a roughly half-hour break here. It's not going to be that long. Might be 13 minutes, actually. 5 o'clock is the planned start time for the DVC men taking on the Santa Rosa men, and they're getting themselves into warm-ups. We are going to take the break and come back with Game 2 of our doubleheader on the other side of it. We hope you'll stick around here on DVC Vikings Live.
stretched out smile, holding breath, I'm falling down. Take quick steps, you're only there a moment. I'll put my coat on. Eyes like gold, sharpened takes, you're standing up. Quicken pace, it's warm outside. I'm okay for a while, and I can make myself happy for the moment if you won't. Closing off my senses, I'll water them down. Push away, I think that I can give up now. And I'll sharpen my focus if you notice when I'm gone. Curling hair, close your eyes, we're upside down. No more sky, my mother said, be careful, don't keep it inside. Broken words trace your lips, you claim the earth. Fingertips, another day, we're gone, just passing us by. And I can make myself happy for the moment if you won't. Closing off my senses, I'll water them down. Push away, I think that I can give up now. And I'll sharpen my focus if you notice when I'm Old t-shirt smells like you said I was fine. Thought that was true. It was cold outside. I lied, but you put my coat on.
I could move across the country somewhere that nobody knows me. Don't wanna be so lonely. Tell me that I won't have to make the best of my situation. And if I try, maybe I might, maybe I might. And if I try, maybe I might, maybe I might.
Through the left side, base hit! Downing is in to score! And DVC walk it off!
That's my step. He looks down the middle of the field. He's going to throw the goal right. Has him in the field. Intercepted. Intercepted, taking it down the far sideline. He steps out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage, and that's how you cap the game up.
Sierra Smith quickly worked around, feeding the hot hand. Jasmine got it! 3 threes for number 23.
Who finds Edwards? Edwards needs to get the shot up. Pulls up a deep three. Able to knock it down!
The counterattack. Here comes Carla Ramos forward looking for Noelle Lemus. She's gotten by the last defender. Valentine comes down. Noelle drills the keeper. Lemus! And that is a DVC victory. And the Vikings are champions of California! And welcome back to the DVC Aquatic Center, the Rick Millington Pool here in Pleasant Hill, California. We are underway with first quarter action right this moment as it's the DVC Vikings men and the Santa Rosa Junior College men in Game 2 of today's doubleheader. Right off the bat, the Vikings in possession after winning the opening swim-off. And we're going to have to narrate this like radio because I was supposed to have a camera person, but at the moment we don't seem to have one. So things got started a little quick. First trip for the Vikings is an empty one, and the ball in the hand of Braden Land. Not quite sure what's gone on with that, but we'll do our best here as the ball is worked over to the right side. Santa Rosa Junior College possessing. It's Chris Miller inside and absorbed here by the DVC Vikings. A takeaway here from Thomas Colpo and the 15, Keegan D'Arcy. Ball working the other way here. And I'm going to pull a bit of double duty. Cameraman and play-by-play as the first shot of the game is rung off the crossbar. That out of the hand of the 19, Thomas Colpo. But it's coming the other way. Still scoreless here in Pleasant Hill. Joe Hickey with you, Chris Koblick. Joining us as well here on color commentary, art history professor and water polo player. You do a little coaching as well, yeah?
Every once in a while, but mostly former player, former coach.
Joining us here on the call today, and it's a ticking down shot clock and a takeaway here for DVC. Coming the other way, it's going to be Jackson Barnacle.
The ball comes off his hand a little wrong there, so he's not able to complete the pass.
Got one player with him there, and it was the 8, Ethan DeLang. Vikings keep the ball here, 16 to shoot. Worked over to DeLang in the corner. Now back up top for D'Arcy. You hear the countdown from the DVC bench, just 6 seconds left and a foul and a turnover. Vikings in the green home caps, attacking right to left across your YouTube progress bar. Santa Rosa Junior College in the white road caps. We'll give you the starting lineups in just a moment, although you've heard most of the names already for the DVC Vikings.
Penalty called there, so 5-meter penalty called.
All right, and we're going to have a 5-meter shot here in just a moment as the referee moves into a position where you can actually see it. And it's going to be the number 3, Ben Gratis, leading scorer here for Santa Rosa Junior College. Nope, correction, the 7 rather, Cole Morris in position to take it. Gratis heads back. Cole Morris, sophomore out of Novato. 39 goals on the season. Tells you all you need to know. That's not the leading tally on the club. Gratis sitting one shy of a cool half century this year. But it'll be Morris looking to open the scoring here for the green and white. Correction for the red and blue. My mistake. Sorry, Cole Morris buries that one on the bottom right corner. And it's 1-0. Santa Rosa on top early. So we have a volunteer jumping, thankfully, on the camera panning. So our... Sorry, what was that again, sir?
Oh. She's a marathon swimmer.
Holy heck.
Yeah.
Okay, so got all sorts of ringers involved in our broadcast here today as the ball's back with the DVC Vikings looking for a response. Ball into the interior. Swatted away by the keeper Braden Land from Daniel Hollander, and DVC another empty trip here in quarter number 1.
I think he had the opportunity for the backhand there, but he was waiting perhaps for a step out or some kind of a layup.
Ball worked over here to the right side. Cole Morris, the goal scorer from the 5-meter line. Drops that back, a shot from distance, and a great stop by Rory Murphy off the shot from Sebastian King-Gile.
And he's finding Ethan DeLang on the counterattack.
Waits, fires, and Ethan DeLang has got DVC on the board, and we're tied up 1-1 here, 3 minutes in. Great counterattack there from the Vikings, and a beautiful ball over the top from Rory Murphy to find the streaking Viking. Ethan DeLang, his 13th goal of the season. A pair of hat tricks this year against Merced and Modesto for the sophomore out of St. Patrick's St. Vincent. Ordinary foul. King-Gile will get this over to Silas Strauss. We've already had substitutions, so we got back just before the swim-off as the ball's put over the right side. Sebastian King-Gile on it. Foul committed, but it's an indirect restart here. It's Keegan D'Arcy, the foul, and it's dropped back and picked off by Ethan DeLang. Vikings will look to build patiently at first. Hollander over to the left side. Jackson Barnacle. Oh, good find over the right side, but DeLang not able to get free.
After a whole string of kind of short passes on the part of both teams there.
Ball worked to the point for D'Arcy. Out wide left side here, Barnacle. Quick restart here, trying to find the swat from the 19, Thomas Colpo. What was the call on that one? Did you catch it?
Yes. So there's an ejection called at 2 meters, and they were looking for the quick, but Colpo was inside the 2, and so you have to be outside the 2. There's that red box around the cage.
Gotcha.
So within the confines of that, you cannot be inside the 2 meter.
Pair of empty trips as we learn a little bit here about a way that this sport also resembles hockey sometimes. That whole idea of not being allowed in the crease. That was the discussion with Trisha Kwan. Pretty much, you just kind of you pin whatever sport you enjoy. If you haven't seen the glory of water polo, you say, well, what aspect of it works for me because I like this? And the next thing you know, you're just obsessed.
Hockey's a close one. You know, at the Olympics this year, I also saw handball, and that was really similar.
Oh, totally. Oh, looping shot from the number 7, Cole Morris, looking for a second. That's off the woodwork, and Rory Murphy keeps it out. Up ahead quickly here to the 15, D'Arcy. Takes some space. King-Gile closing to him.
And he's waiting for Hollander and drawing the ejection.
Okay, and so that's going to send King-Gile to the sin bin. DVC with a man-up opportunity here to try to take their first lead of the day. Thinking about the shot for a moment was Colpo. Now leaves it for Culpepper. Into the center and batted away. Hollander not able to get the shot away, and a foul committed. A turnover here. Good positioning by Ben Gratis. And so Santa Rosa will come away with it. Still just 1-1 here. A little over 5 minutes in from Pleasant Hill. We thank you for joining us on DVC Vikings Live. Ball worked around the perimeter here as Silas Strauss is on it. Quick restart. Chris Miller. Cole Morris at the point. Back to Miller. Loses control. Has to swim back after it. 5 left on the shot clock. Goes cross tank. And that's going to be it. So they will do the move of putting it in the corner. No shot opportunity. And so they'll force DVC to swim after it.
And reduce the chances of a counterattack.
Right. Give yourself a chance to get back. Cross-court pass all the way to Ethan DeLang on the right side. DeLang taking some space in the corner.
And a turnover is called.
So far, a bit of a defensive battle between the Bear Cubs and Vikings, a bit more so than our early game, which ended 24-10 in favor of the Viking women.
That's a high score for water polo. That's a very high score.
Yeah, Vikings with 12 goals in each half. Got a signal here for an ejection. That is going to be the number 8, Ethan DeLang, headed over behind, and man-up opportunity for the Bear Cubs. Moved around here to the number 6, Chris Miller, around the perimeter. Back to Ben Binder into the game for his first action, over the top.
That breaks the momentum on the power play.
Absolutely, and now inside and swatted away by the 4, Daniel Hollander. DVC take it away and survive the man-up opportunity, and here's a ball on the release. One-on-one with the keeper in just a moment. Thomas Colpo gives the Vikings their first lead of the day, 2-1.
He finds the back of the cage there. I think he even would have had time to fake once before the defenders caught up.
Your camera person left. That was running his camera.
So I'm trying to get a vital position manned here in the men's game here, as we lost. Sky Griffin did some excellent work on the camera during game 1. We have lost her, so did you catch the name of the marathon swimmer that we have over here?
Suzanne, I'm not sure of her last name.
Okay. Well, we'll get that at the quarter break here and hopefully relieve her of duty. Feels like maybe too important of a person to be putting to work. Cole Morris at the point.
Oh.
Skip shot, and that gets by Murphy, and Santa Rosa tie it back up.
That's the second for Cole Morris there after his penalty shot.
Indeed, 2 for Morris, who came in with 39 goals on the season. Ethan DeLang scored his 13th. And then earlier, number 9 on the season for number 19, Thomas Colpo, on the breakaway. 2-2 inside the final minute of first quarter action here from Pleasant Hill. The sun setting behind us. The sun setting soon on the DVC water polo season. Big 8 tournament right around the corner as that one's in toward Colpo and a turnover. 12-second difference between shot and game clock at the moment. 32 left in this first quarter. Inside to Ben Gratis, who DVC by and large have bottled up. But it's the second leading scorer so far that's got both tallies for the Bear Cubs. Cross-tank pass looking for Gratis, 6 to shoot. Picks it back up. Cole Morris rising with the lefty shot, and Murphy able to stay up long enough to get to the off speed. And now looking for the quick breakaway. 8 seconds left on the clock. DRC is going to leave that for the 11, who cannot get himself in position for a shot. We've got a whistle, still alive, and there is the final whistle of the first quarter as the shot from the 15, Keegan DRC, is stopped at point-blank range. We're going to find out who number 11 is, because I don't have that on my roster, and we're going to find ourselves a camera person to relieve our illustrious helper here. We will be right back with the second quarter here from DVC.
There was a call that happened right at the end there.
Yeah. Let's talk about that first.
I'm actually not sure. It looked like an ejection to me, but I'm not sure who on or for what. But it's possible that one team might start a person down.
Okay, so we will be looking for somebody back behind in the little cage behind the cage when we come back. But we'll take the break right now. First quarter done and dusted, 2-2 from Pleasant Hill. We'll be right back.
Obama night when sealed after midnight, hasten the coming of my life renewed. Lips of the promise whisper the future. Child ever wanting, no longer excuse. Sundown is taking my breath away. Sunrise restores my frayed soul. Night like a thief slinks off till my release.
little around the horn coverage for you as we come back, getting ready for the second quarter of our men's water polo games, second game of this doubleheader. A quick look at cross country, the Pat Ryan Invitational on Friday. Alana Sevier of DVC second in the women's 5K, 11 seconds behind the race winner. Two others inside the top 10, and on the men's side, your top finishers Paulo Morales and Ian Knutson. Cross country having a decent season as they're getting ready for championship season, as we'll have Big 8 championship races along with NorCal, along with eventually the 3C2A. DVC, as we mentioned, hosting the water polo finals for the Big 8 in a few weeks. Cross country will also be hosting the Big 8 championship up in Martinez at Hidden Valley Park. So you can look forward to that. To find out about them and everything else going on in DVC athletics, make sure to point your browser to dvcvikings.com, your source for all things green and white. So I believe we do see somebody back behind for Santa Rosa Junior College in the sin bin. So as we have the opening swim-off of quarter number 2.
The timeout there is called so that the team has time to go down and set up. They really needed to win that sprint, because if they hadn't, then the player would have been even and they would have missed out on the power play.
Got it. Okay, so they do remain with the player removed from action here. We got fresh eyes on the camera work after help from our friend Suzanne in first quarter action. We adapt to things. This is the third person to operate the camera, and one of them was me for about 3 minutes there. And here comes that power play. 2 seconds of it gone. DVC with Rory Murphy getting it forward to Culpo. Quickly moved around to the corner. Hollander up top. Culpo receives after a touch from Culpepper. Back to Hollander. Couple of fakes and a shot.
So the goal is called no good because there's a player inside the 2 in that center area once again.
Vikings need to clean that up just a little bit here. 2-2 in this second quarter here from Pleasant Hill. Second to last home date for the Vikings men. They will be hosting Cabrillo on Friday in what will be their sophomore day, and I believe they've still got some more tournament action, as do the women, away from the friendly confines of DVC. As we get another shot, Cole Morris in search of a hat trick early in this one, but unable to find the twine.
Looks to me like the game plan is to keep pressure on Morris, even if he's up at the point, the farthest player away from the goal.
Ball up ahead to DRC, looking for the one-touch pass, or one-touch redirection into goal by DeLang. It hits the post.
And they've called they've called a penalty shot.
Oh, there we go. Penalty called here, so apparently a foul as DeLang looked to redirect that goalward.
On number 8, Enrique Jimenez.
All right, and it will be, I believe, the 19, Thomas Culpo, to take it. Rises, fires, and scores, and DVC have the lead here at 3-2. That's Culpo's second. He, for the time being, nullifying Cole Morris's pair of goals. Ethan DeLang's opening tally right now, the difference in the encounter. 3-2, Vikings on top. 1 minute into this second quarter, as the sun continues to do interesting things to our white balance on this broadcast. Not used to broadcasting quite so close to dusk.
Looked to me like the sun was doing interesting things to Thomas Culpo's eyes there on the penalty shot as well, as he's
right?
having to look at to the referee to make sure that he's taking the shot at the right moment.
There's a shot wide out of the hands of the 12, Silas Strauss. We never did get to show you the starting lineups, but here is how we came out initially with Rory Murphy, Barnacle, Hollander, DeLang, Culpepper, DRC, and Culpo. And it's Culpo already with 2 goals to his name, looking for a little more, but he'll go cross-tank. Little miscommunication. Luckily, no Santa Rosa defenders there in the area between O'Connell and DeLang. Another ball over the top. DeLang forced to chase. 8 seconds to shoot. Dumped in and swatted away by Sebastian King-Gile.
That's a tough pass in. When they're off of the water like that, it's almost a toss-up as to whether the defender can get it or the 2-meter player.
Yeah, 50-50 ball there, and Jackson Barnacle denied an opportunity. He's the Vikings' leading scorer with 44 goals this season. DVC and Santa Rosa met back on October 11th in tournament play. And in that game, the Vikings came away with a victory, and Barnacle, who's been held quiet so far, scored 10.
Oh, Morris is up, and he turns towards the cage and finds the back of the net. That is his third goal. The DVC game plan is really going to have to focus on shutting him down.
Absolutely. So we mentioned here the work of Jackson Barnacle in that game, where he scored 10 of the Vikings' 16. So far, Cole Morris, all three of Santa Rosa's 3. And so we'll see how they adapt. In that game, the Vikings won it 16-9. They got off to a 5-0 advantage in the first quarter, and from that point forward, it was pretty much you score, I score, you score, I score for the remainder of it. Every other quarter, just about a push.
Very different vibe in the pool today. Much tighter contest.
Absolutely. Leading scorer in that game for Santa Rosa was Ben Gratis with 3. Had a couple others with 2 goals apiece. Ball in the hands right now of Strauss. Goes cross tank. Finds the number 9, Jackson Nail. Inside here, and a stop by Murphy on the quick shot from Ben Gratis. Still has been denied a goal so far. Up ahead, Vikings on the counter. It's Aiden Buck. We now have the identity of the number 11. That's an oversight on my part. I don't know why I didn't have him on my roster. Inside, DRC fires.
Beautiful move on that. You can really see how he's creating space through the step out there, and then is able to find the back of the net.
DVC back in front in a nip and tuck first half so far here. Substitution time as the 13, Roman Dabrowski, is going to take off Silas Strauss. Vikings at the moment with the 2, 15, 11, 19, 5, and 9 caps out there. So that's Diego Perez, Ashton Culpepper, Jackson Barnacle, Keegan DRC, Aiden Buck, and Thomas Colpo. There's a shot from the left wing. Stopped nicely by Rory Murphy. That might have had a chance at the corner, but here's another outlet pass deep. Here's Jackson Barnacle looking for joy for the first time.
A look away.
Reflex stop on the look away shot from Barnacle. Good work by Braden Land.
I think Barnacle would have done better to look at the cage and find the empty space around the keeper there.
Yeah, maybe a little less sauce next time. It's Enrique Jimenez being absolutely crowded and shepherded toward the green rope here at the left sideline by Aiden Buck. Off the restart, ball forward here for the 7, Cole Morris. Back here top, and it's going to be a shot from Ben Binder. Unable to direct it goalward. We were talking even during warm-ups here. The one thing you do get if you go women's, men's doubleheader is a new appreciation for the amount of pace that is on some of these shots from the men's game, just the long levers. So we've got an infraction down low that's going to end the Vikings' possession.
And a timeout. So looked to me like the call was something about holding at the 2-meter, so that was a turnover that was called.
Okay, so a lot of jostling down there as the timeout is taken. Looks like players will head over to their benches for a quick chat, and we'll take the break alongside them, just a little over halfway done. Quarter number 2, Vikings up 4-3. Our scoreline, 3:39 left till the halftime break. Joe Hickey with you alongside Chris Koblik, and we've got Tess Dolly now operating the camera work, which a name like Dolly does sound about right for somebody operating a camera. now that I think about it. We need to get something on rollers out here for her and really just embrace the nominative determinism of this. That's enough dorkery. I'm done. Okay.
Love it. Keep it coming.
Yeah, of all the people I know at this campus, I can't imagine you would be discouraging me on that. So, yeah. Santa Rosa start in possession after the timeout. 25 to shoot at the moment as the ball's in the hands.
Looks like they're running an interesting after goal play here, or after timeout play. But it appears to have been thwarted by the Vikings. I don't think that was part of their plan.
Good work on the interior there from Hollander and Culpepper to close out Sebastian King-Gile. And again, the quick outlet to the right corner. It is the number 2, Jackson Barnacle, going cross court.
And can he find the player at the point? The player at the point. There we go. Yes.
Do we think that Chris Koblick's got some coaching experience? There we go. Calling out the play as they locate the free man, Daniel Hollander, at the point. Might not have had a clear look at that, as our referee has had an unfortunate habit of standing directly in front of Testali's camera over here. But we'll make do as we go along, and in about 3 minutes, DVC will be shooting the other way, and it'll be fine.
That was an excellent example of finding the open person. And so they found the cross pass, and then the cross pass got covered up, and he was able to find the open player at the point, who then put the ball away.
Ball taken away here, and coming the other way is Daniel Hollander. Fresh off of scoring just moments ago, he is dribbling forward, and he's going to go one-on-one with the keeper, Braden Land, waits and scores.
I disagree with the Santa Rosa defensive decisions on that one. I think you got to hit the person at the front of the cage and not worry about the cross passes there.
No, absolutely. It's the same thing you hear all the time in basketball on a breakaway like that, or a fast break, is you've got to stop the ball. And no one stepped up to Hollander. No one stopped it, and he had a free run at Land and buries that. 2 goals in short order for Hollander.
Yep. Every single pass is an opportunity for a miss, an overpass. You got to force the extra passes on defense.
Santa Rosa looking for the reaction.
A lot of white water down close to the cage there.
King-Gile looking for yet another skip shot. That one is stopped by Murphy.
And you know that a team is starting to feel a little bit desperate when they're already going after the keeper.
Goodness gracious, look at the break down the other end. Keegan D'Arcy, boy, can barely keep up at the moment. Vikings make it 7-3. And I'll say this, I know they took the timeout to try to regroup. It has not gone well for the Bear Cubs since that timeout.
Here's where a team's conditioning really starts to show, where you start to get a couple of those fast breaks, and you can kind of crack it open and try to get a few more in.
And I've talked extensively with the soccer coaching staff about the difference between running on offense and on the attack and running on defense. It seems physiologically there shouldn't be a difference, and yet the psychology of it is really something else. And Santa Rosa right now getting run ragged by the Vikings. Looking for the response. King-Gile rises. Murphy stops.
So on that one, Murphy is able to get to the other side of the cage because the player stopped and faked.
And stop me if you've heard this one before. Vikings on the break, one-on-one with the keeper, and again, DVC on the break. It's Aiden Buck with the first goal of his game, and the Vikings have made it 8-3. Goodness gracious. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was 4-3 when we went to the timeout.
It sure was.
It's a 4-0 run in just the span of about 2 minutes. That is about as quickly as I've ever seen 4 goals scored in a water polo match.
This second quarter feels very different from the middle of the quarter.
That's right. It was a very studied buildup. I believe 2-2 when we went to the first quarter break. So it's gotten pyrotechnic. DVC have realized that they've got the horses to run right at this Santa Rosa team, and they've taken a timeout in the meanwhile to try to regroup. So that's 2 of them taken by the guests in this first half. Correct me if I'm wrong, the timeouts, that's 3 for the full game?
Correct.
Okay, so forced to use them in short order. They took one. DVC ripped off a 4-0 run, and just like that, they need to take the second one. They'll just have one opportunity to stop the clock in the second half.
I think I would have tried to ride out that last minute and a half without taking the timeout, but who knows?
Well, I mean, at the pace the Vikings were going, it would have been 11-3 by then if they'd kept scoring like that. My word, one every 30 seconds. It's been stop, breakaway, stop, breakaway, stop, breakaway. It's just been one-way traffic for a little bit. So we will see what the Bear Cubs have in store for these last 95 seconds as they look to give themselves something to build on when they come back from the 5-minute halftime break.
I'm expecting to see some drives on the one side, but we'll have to see how it shapes up.
That's right. We needed to talk about numbers. We'll have a halftime break in a little bit. The between games break was a bit shorter than I was anticipating.
Me too. Here's the drive from one coming across, and then we've got somebody coming down. Oh, too early on the shot. Needed to wait for his teammate to really finish that drive.
So the play hadn't really developed. So you're saying the one player, the left side guy, cuts across, tries to drag a defender with, and they were starting the run into that vacated space.
Yep.
And instead, the shot coming from the top from Silas Strauss.
You hate to see that when you're trying to run a play.
Well, it stays with Santa Rosa here. 22 to shoot. Ball at the point in the hands of the only man who has scored for the Whitecaps so far today, and he's got a fourth. Cole Morris. Wow, that is a heck of a lob there over the top of Murphy. Wasn't expecting it from the best I can tell, and he's got the fourth goal for Santa Rosa.
They cannot let him wave that ball. They've got to hit him earlier.
1 minute left here. DVC coming down the pool as Santa Rosa have at long last gotten the reaction to the Vikings' 4-0 run.
If they can make the stop here, Santa Rosa, then halftime feels very different than 8-3.
Absolutely. Perhaps even time to go down and get another one and get that much closer, but they will not get the stop here as the shot is fired by Keegan D'Arcy. And another goal for the green and white. They make it 9-4. I believe the second of the game for D'Arcy. We're going to have to do some updating on our stats because I'm a few short. It's very easy on the Santa Rosa side. Morris, and more Morris. DVC, I know we got two at least for Hollander, Culpo, and D'Arcy. I got one for DeLang, the opener, and we're missing two, so we'll figure it out. 23 seconds left here, 9-second difference between game and shot clock as Santa Rosa look to answer the Vikings tally here in the final minute, trying to go towards the top right corner, but it's a bit wild under pressure from Hollander. No joy for Ben Gratis. Shot clock is off. DVC do what's worked so well in this second quarter and launch it deep. 8 seconds now. Ball in the hands of Max Benson, and a shot and a goal with 4 seconds to go.
That is a nasty cross pass. That is so hard to defend for the keeper. That's so much territory to cover in the cage. That's 2 meters that the goalie has to get across to get that shot.
Yeah, get the goalkeeper in motion, and of course, if you're expending all your energy trying to get lateral, as that's fired,
oh!
Cole Morris with a bomb
at the buzzer.
5th goal of the day for him. He's got every single Santa Rosa tally, and he saved the best for last in this second quarter. My word!
Talk about the long bomb.
Whew, my word, half tanker there at the buzzer, and you always know it's a possibility, but it's something quite different to see it brought into reality here. Well, Vikings 10-5, they lead almost exactly by that run they put on in the middle of the second quarter. And Chris, just before we head to the break, what are you looking for from Santa Rosa to try to manage this after DVC managed to finally get that cushion?
I think that Santa Rosa has had some turnovers, some miscommunications about where the ball is going, so they've got to really try to cut down on that because I think the DVC counterattack is just too powerful to be stopped.
All right, and that counterattack good for 4 goals there, unanswered in the middle of the quarter. The Vikings now lead by 5, 10-5 as we go to the halftime break here on DVC Vikings Live.
river is long. Walking by the river, walking by the river. River is fast, yeah, the river is strong. Walking by the river, walking by the river. Walk by that river all night long. River is cold, chills your bones. Walking by the river, walking by the river. The river is high 'cause it rolls with the storm. Walking by the river, walking by the river. Walk by that river all night long. Swing low, swing high. I like to watch that river flow right by. The sun's low, but the moon is high. I never made it to the other side. The river is ancient, the river is old. Walking by the river, walking by the river. She's filled with rocks, yeah, some of them are gold. Walking by the river, walking by the river. Walking by the river all night long. Swing high, swing low. I like to watch that river flow. The sun's low, but the moon is high. I never made it to the other side.
And welcome back to Rick Millington Pool here at the DVC Aquatic Center, Pleasant Hill, California. Final home date for the women earlier today as they took home the 24-10 victory over the Bear Cubs. The men halfway through, doubling up the Santa Rosa side here 10-5. And on the DVC side, they've spread it around a little bit. Hollander and Culpa with 2, Keegan D'Arcy with the hat trick, and 1 each for Diego Perez, Ethan DeLang, and Aiden Buck. On the Santa Rosa side, it's very straightforward. They have got 5 goals on the board, every single one of them scored by Cole Morris, who we learned earlier is actually the son of a coach that both Chris and the Vikings women's head coach Tricia Kwan have got some experience with.
This is a generational water polo family, and Cole Morris is proudly holding up his generation.
Opening swim-off won here by the DVC Vikings. Morris had 4 goals early and then hit that half tanker right before the halftime whistle, and that was really something special. DVC rotating it around toward the left. On the interior, D'Arcy looking for a 4th, but he is locked in battle with Cole Morris on the defensive end, and Santa Rosa with the takeaway. Those stops they're going to need to stack up here in order to eat their way into this 5-goal deficit.
Morris a defensive threat as well as an offensive one.
Ball dumped down deep in search of Ben Gratis, who has been held off the score sheet as he has won away, as we mentioned, from a cool half-century this season. 49 goals for the freshman out of Ukiah, but none so far today. It's been all about the Novato-based sophomore, Cole Morris. Here is D'Arcy looking to get within 1 of Morris and give DVC another goal. We've got a stoppage and a penalty throw called here. Is that correct?
Yes, but that's a rough penalty for Santa Rosa since it's happening outside or on the edge of that that kind of priority area there.
So that goes against Chris Miller, the number 6. And for the Vikings, it's going to be Jackson Barnacle looking to get onto the score sheet from 5. Fires and scores. Jackson Barnacle makes it 11-5 Vikings. So what is generally the strategy on a penalty throw like that, which I've been struggling all day not to call a penalty kick. I'm actually rather proud of myself. It hasn't come out by accident. I'm going to knock on something that I don't do it in the next 15 minutes here. But by and large, when you did you ever get to take any of those?
I did, yes.
What was your preferred strategy when you were up there?
So I'm a lefty with a hitch in her shot, and so I had a natural advantage there. But you must take the shot immediately, so you can't wait and see where the goalie's going. So it's a kind of a head game between the keeper and the shooter, and you look for open space. It can actually be really nice to go above the keeper's head. Because that takes the hands longer to get there than anywhere else.
Speaking of above the keeper's head, a shot from close in out of the hand of Thomas Kolpo. He's got his hat trick completed, I believe, although I haven't seen it go up on the scoreboard. There wasn't anything fishy about that. Nope, that's a good goal. It'll be up on the board here at the DVC Aquatic Center in a moment, and it's on ours as well here. 12-5. Vikings make it a cool dozen. Kolpo and D'Arcy now with hat tricks. Barnacle on the score sheet, the Vikings' leading scorer with his 45th of the season coming moments ago. DVC looking to continue to build an advantage. We had a wide shot earlier, another one here, and Murphy watches that sail away. And Vikings in the flow here. Yeah, Chris?
It's interesting that Morris is on the outside. Usually you put your strongest player traditionally at the 2 meters, and so it really speaks to just Morris's ability with the outside shot that they're keeping him a lefty on the outside and even up at the point where you're furthest away from the goal.
And meanwhile, Ethan DeLange stopped at point-blank range by Braden Land. Up ahead here for the number 8, Enrique Jimenez in possession.
Bad pass there, picked off by the Vikings.
Good work on the interior, getting in those lanes. And it is getting a little bit dark here. We're going to have to figure out some white balance stuff on this camera. I know it's got all kinds of features, but we're very new at this machinery. I wish I had Max Agress with me. I know he's a bit more schooled on this sort of stuff. Actually, we might even ask our friend down here to see if he can find the setting. It's getting a little dark here on DVC Vikings Live. Vikings working it around the perimeter right now. Daniel Hollander over to Barnacle. One-touch pass back to Hollander at the point. Fires, and it's knocked down, in fact, by one of the defenders.
Morris.
Still rattling around and scored out of the hands of Thomas Kolpo, his 4th. Cleaning up the garbage there at the end. The initial shot blocked by Morris, who has done a little bit of everything over the course of today's game.
You know, since we're in California, perhaps we should say compost. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Since they're using it to such good effect.
Right, yeah, exactly. Growing all sorts of things from it. Yep.
Goals growing all the time.
Santa Rosa with the ball here, now down 8. The Vikings, if you haven't been with us for the whole way of this one, it was a 4-0 run that really built the cushion on a series of counterattacks as that one is batted out of the sky in front of Cole Morris. Unable to settle it was Nico O'Connell.
Let's watch and see. I think he might take this. Yep.
Yeah, there's the shot direct off the restart, and Murphy able to flag it down.
Morris feels confident everywhere in the pool, which is really unusual for a lefty. We like to be on the 5 side.
O'Connell inside looking for Culpepper, and Culpepper on the restart has it picked off by guess who? 7-cap Cole Morris. And for those wondering, Morris in the matchup at the Bruce Watson tournament down in Saratoga, just 2 goals and 1 assist in that game. I don't know what he had for breakfast this morning, but give me seconds of that. Morris from the point. Out wide left side, Silas Strauss, he takes a rip, and that's going to be batted away and out for another empty trip.
Not even batted away, just hitting the side of the cage, because if the keeper had touched it, then possession would go back to Santa Rosa.
Vikings again quickly countering, even off of a stoppage. And it's the 11 Aiden Buck with 1 goal so far today off the restart.
Turnover, and I'm not sure what the call was there. Maybe another 2-meter violation.
At any rate, now trying to do a little bit of what DVC's been doing, but pulling it back is Ben Gratis. Silas Strauss swept under here by O'Connell for DVC. It's the 5 Ben Binder on the ball at the moment. Left-handed pass for Morris. Little lackadaisical. He is closed in on by a pair of Viking defenders. 10 on the shot clock. Ball currently in the hands again of Binder, working against his opposing 5, Diego Perez. And with 4 seconds left on the shot clock, takes a wild one wide left and a little high. This is launched down to the right side. Ethan DeLang will pursue. Got a couple of runners at various levels. Might think about Buck, might think about O'Connell. Does go for Buck, who's being interfered with on the interior. That's going to be an exclusion.
Dabrowski really misses the defense on that one. He's not looking behind him, and so he lets the ball go in and lets his defender struggle and then get ejected there.
And we've got a second ejection there. DVC with a 6-on-4 at the moment on the offensive end.
Ooh, hate to see the missed pass there.
Looking to get that rhythm again. Another one that slips through. Ball now in the hand of the 11 Aiden Buck. He loads up the shot, but we have a stoppage prior to that. And
shot clock violation.
Ah, okay. I'll get better at spotting that here. I think we're going to try and see if we can get that on the live stream for the Big 8 tournament and get another camera facing that way. Ball dropped back here as Santa Rosa look for a response. They have, I believe, yet to score in this second quarter. Just 3 seconds on the shot clock. Skip shot, and Murphy able to keep it out. After that pyrotechnic second quarter, it was 2-2 after 8 minutes. And then in the second quarter, DVC went stark raving bonkers for about 2 minutes in the middle of it. Wound up ahead 10-5 at the halftime break and have scored 3 goals without conceding here in the third. Minute 52 to go. Working around the perimeter, 5 seconds to shoot, and that is dumped into no man's land.
Misfire on the pass there.
And taken away as they look for DeLang. Here come the Bear Cubs the other way. Vikings at the moment with Perez, O'Connell, Max Benson, the 12 Charles Sham, or rather the 11, sorry. Yeah, we'll get the rest of that in a second. There they go, the 8 and the 11 and the 5. Ball dumped in as the shot clock was running down. Santa Rosa unable to get anything out of that trip. And here it is. I don't know why I was bothering with all the trying to identify the players because Coach Corey Dolly is going to sub all of them off, it appears. So we had a moment in the soccer game yesterday where 11 on a soccer pitch, and they subbed in 5 at once. Folsom Lake College. Yeah, it was nuts. I announced those over the PA and then immediately came back to the live stream and said, everything you thought you knew about the Folsom lineup is wrong now. Minute 14 to go here after the substitutions.
13-5 our score. Minute 14 remaining.
Do we have a DVC timeout in the meanwhile there?
We did.
Okay.
A substitution timeout, I think.
Got it. Vikings 74 seconds away from pitching a third quarter shutout here. Apparently getting some feedback from John Brown's mic. I think our stuff is all still functional, albeit with the white balance issues, and we'll see if we can fix that up at the break between quarters in about 60 seconds. Ball in the hands of Jackson Barnacle. Drop down low to Keegan D'Arcy. He's already got the hat trick. Oh, my goodness, D'Arcy. 4th goal on the game. Vikings make it 14-5. Tell us a little bit about that, Chris.
So he's able to do a strong side turn there, create space between him and the defender just doesn't even turn and go for it. He knows when he's beat.
Heck of a play there, Keegan D'Arcy. I was lamenting that he doesn't pronounce his name like the Pride and Prejudice character, because I was all ready to talk about how he had bewitched me body and soul if he had a big game, and he's had a pretty big one here so far.
You managed to work it in there, Joe.
Yeah, you know, I cannot be stopped. I am a force, Chris. 3 seconds to shoot, the call coming to take a rip, and that will be stopped by Rory Murphy, and barring a turnover and a counter, DVC are going to get that shutout. Speaking of a counter, Keegan D'Arcy unable to get the shot away. He'll have to go for the indirect restart. Has it immediately refed to him by Colpo.
Murphy's pass on that was beautiful.
Absolutely stellar stuff from the DVC keeper. And we've talked a lot about the offensive weapons the Vikings have had on those counters. Yeah, don't sleep on the distribution from the back from Murphy. Roughly a half-second difference between game and shot clock as Barnacle has it. Gets it to Colpo. 8 seconds left to shoot. Dumps it into the center.
A late ejection called there.
That's going to go against the number 6, Chris Miller. Shot off the crossbar, still alive here. 3 seconds left. 2. Here's a shot and doesn't quite get it on frame.
So that means that DVC and Santa Rosa will start even because they took the shot at the end and it didn't go.
Got it. Well, that will take us to the third quarter break. DVC, as we said, managed to pitch a shutout in the third quarter and extend their lead to 14-5. We'll be right back with the final 8 minutes of tonight's doubleheader on DVC Vikings Live.
Nothing left for us to do but lose our minds and pace these rooms. There's nothing left for us to do. We're not getting off of this spaceship. Can't you feel it? Something's changed.
Back here at Rick Millington Pool at the DVC Aquatic Center, and the Vikings with a 14-5 advantage. You see there on the scoreboard across the way. Joe Hickey with you alongside Chris Koblick. We've had a rotating cast of camera operators. Sky Griffin in the women's game. We've seen Suzanne, our distance swimmer friend. We got Trisha Kwan on it right now. Shoot, I got the wrong name. It's not Tess. What was it Tess? Yes, it was Tess Dolly. Okay, I remembered it correctly. There it is. Helping us out in emergent fashion here. I even grabbed the little dongle for a little while to try and keep it lined up, but we are just about ready for fourth quarter action. And the Vikings 8 minutes away from a doubleheader sweep here to close out the official home season in the Vikings home pool. And we are underway here as the fourth quarter gets started.
Better find some wood to knock on there, Joe.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. And so far today, the only folks that have managed to score at a rate that would get this game level in 8 minutes have been, the DVC women throughout, and the DVC men for about 2 minutes there. So I feel pretty good about our chances, but yes, there is still work left to do here, and a turnover as Sebastian King-Gile gets locked in a battle with Perez. Braden Land, the keeper, started every game this season, the freshman out of Ukiah. Ball worked to the point here for King-Gile. Inside and looking for the shot, and a fingertip grab by Rory Murphy. trying for that off-speed little half lob, and Murphy wise to it, or at the very least long enough to to not pay the penalty for not being wise to it. Aiden Buck on the attack. Oh, off the post on the quick one-touch shot from Nico O'Connell. No joy for Nico. He has not scored today. DVC with 2 players on 4 goals, DRC and Colpo. Hollanders got 2 and a smattering of folks with a goal apiece. Still Cole Morris, the only one to score for Santa Rosa. Looking to change that right now. Rory Murphy says, I will have none of it. Chris Miller denied. It's been kind of crazy. This game had all the makings of looking like a real nip and tuck affair the whole way, and kind of like the game down in Saratoga on the 11th of October. DVC with one big run to get some distance, and then have just held them at arm's length ever since. Another shot ringing off the post.
No, that was off of Braden Land's face.
Oh, my goodness. It sounded like the post, which is probably bad news.
Yes.
Eep. Well, he seems to be all right out there.
Yeah, it's the small impacts that add up that can really put a keeper out of commission with concussion.
I see. Up to the top, danger man, Cole Morris, stopped this time from distance by Murphy. Oh, here come the lights. I imagine when we're doing this for the Big 8 tournament, those will be on a fair bit earlier just because it'll be another 2 or 3 weeks later. Sun will be setting that much earlier, and 6 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. the times for the 2 finals. All dumped down toward O'Connell. Vikings on the reset. Andrew Platt into the game for his first action as a shot is fired at the end of the shot clock. Easy stop for Land. No scoring just yet here in this 4th quarter through 3 minutes. Decent bit of the bench getting some playing time out there. We see Max Benson, Diego Perez, Nico O'Connell getting big minutes. Aiden Buck. There's a shot over the top of the crossbar from a tough angle. And happy to see Andrew Platt getting a little bit of action as well. One of 2 DVC water polo players that I see on a weekly basis. As we've mentioned, my actual job here at DVC is that of a chemistry professor, and they're 2 lovely folks to have in the class. And Kagayong, the one on the women's side, and she had a great game with a hat trick earlier as Platt takes a rip blocked out in front.
And these DVC teams have sure shown great chemistry today.
Oh my goodness, that was just sitting there, and that is the kind of instincts you develop. And Chris Koblik, I've mentioned, on debut as a broadcaster as we have a ball picked off. Nico O'Connell's been denied by the post and a face. Let's see what he's got this time around. This time it's going to be a pair of defenders that stop his progress.
Oh, but he retains possession of the ball.
And that'll give the Vikings a chance to work their way back up. 22 on the shot clock at the moment as it's squared up for Diego Perez. 1 goal on the day for him so far, the freshman out of Castro Valley. Looking for another, blocked by the defense.
Knocked down by Cole Morris.
That guy is going to sleep so well tonight. Has a long ball over the top in search of Ben Binder. Andrew Platt getting in and making it difficult. Hand in the face. Binder still waiting. And another stop from Rory Murphy guides that onto the crossbar.
Even on the way down, as he loses his legs after being up waiting for the shot, he is able to get a hand on it.
That was tasty. It remains a scoreless 4th quarter, as it was 7 days ago here between the Vikings and Delta. I can't imagine the tension in that one, though. It was 18-17 for the entire 8 minutes.
Whew.
I think I would have fainted somewhere in the middle. Here's a shot from Diego Perez, knocked down, and on the rebound, guided home by Max Benson. His 3rd goal of the season and his 1st since September 13th. And DVC make it 15-5. There is that bit of compost, as we've christened it here, a California version of taking care of the garbage.
A rich and fertile soil.
This has been amazing. We had talks about getting you on a broadcast as early as I think April last year. Is that right, Tricia? Yep. Yep. I knew it was going to be great.
Ejection is called from lower down in the...
I don't see anybody swimming off at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's the 12 swimming under the goal, so I think it's Charles Sham who is left.
Okay, there we go.
There's another shot, another stop for Rory Murphy. Battling here. Santa Rosa looking for a goal from anybody besides Cole Morris. They finally get it on the third bite at the apple, and it's Sebastian King-Gile with his 14th of the season.
Murphy cannot feel bad about that one. He has had an absolutely spectacular game here.
And again, that with 2 minutes 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter, the first goal of the second half for the Santa Rosa Bear Cubs. Mind you, this game was 5-4 at one point. DVC have been absolutely dominant ever since. Put on that 4-0 run in the span of about 2 minutes on a bunch of counterattack goals, and then gave up just one right before the halftime break to Santa Rosa. Thought it might make them feel a little better as Sham has that one intercepted by Silas Strauss. But DVC came out here in the third quarter and just did what they'd been doing, and the defense has gotten absolutely locked down. That's an aimless one to nowhere. Sebastian King-Gile will retrieve it, though. Nobody from DVC wise to it quite fast enough.
I think DRC was able to get a hand on that. I heard fingers.
Here's a shot from distance, finger-tipped away by Murphy. Santa Rosa stay in possession. It's Ronan Kepler.
DVC is cherry-picking a little bit. We've got DRC looking to go to offense there.
Looking for that fifth.
Relying on Murphy's goalkeeping there.
Here's a shot blocked by Charles Sham, and then unfortunately for him, guided onto the back line. It's going to be a fresh 30 for Santa Rosa.
And we've got all players back in the front court.
Ball over to King-Gile. Looking for some joy as well. He's got one goal, make it two.
They let him walk in so far on that one.
Want to try and still keep things tight here in the late going, if at all possible. But they do pick up a seventh here, Santa Rosa. But it has by and large been all Vikings in this fourth quarter. 80 seconds away from win number 9 on the season. They'll go to 9-14 on the year and pick up their first conference victory. Again, looking to jostle for a better matchup in the first round of the Big 8 tournament. Again, that coming up November 7th through the 9th here at the DVC Vikings pool. Ball inside.
Ordinary foul called. Goes back out.
That back out to Sham. Inside, a shot by Max Benson, who's got a pair here in the late going for the Vikings, 16-7. That was a nice little shot there from the point.
It was.
Final minute of play. Of course, lots more to come on DVC Vikings Live and DVC Vikings Live Radio this week. DVC Soccer will be on the road in Rockland at Sierra Friday at 3:30 p.m. We'll have the radio call there. It'll be yours truly on that, working solo. And then on Saturday, Max Agress will be bringing you DVC football as they take on San Joaquin Delta at 1 p.m.
Sham's looking for the steal here.
He's been a little bit of a bear out there on the defensive end, which... you know, bear versus bear cub. That's going to usually turn out well in favor of the bear as the ball is turned over. DVC will claim. Shot clock off.
You know, he's a smaller player, and they really have to be aggressive in there. He hasn't cracked 6 foot, it looks like, and so it's, you know, either you play big or you play like a praying mantis.
Well, DVC put on one heck of a performance in the second half. They hold Santa Rosa to just 2 goals, and they walk away today with, as we said, their 9th victory of the season and first inside the Big 8 by a 16-7 scoreline. 4 goals from Thomas Colpo and Keegan DRC. and just a lovely, as we said, a lovely defensive performance. Rory Murphy standing on his head a couple of times there, which is it's dangerous in the water, but really fantastic work, Chris.
I'd love to know the number of blocks that he had on that game. That hasn't been a stat that we've been taking, but we probably ought to have. I'm betting it is around 15.
Yeah, that would not surprise me at all. And again, most of that there, that second half lockdown by the Vikes to build the big advantage and sail home to this victory. So we look forward to more DVC water polo action. As we said, Vikings will be here facing off with Cabrillo on Friday. And then that Big 8 tournament just around the corner. Chris Koblick, thank you so much for joining us today. This was a blast. I cannot wait for the Big 8 tournament to come around. It's going to be fun.
It's been a pleasure.
On broadcast debut, like a pro right from the get-go. Thanks as well to those who have helped us out today. Sky Griffin, Trisha Kwan, Tess Dolly, Suzanne. We didn't get Suzanne's last name. Suzanne Heim helping us out in a pinch on the camera work. Wonderful work from Caitlin Stone as well, team manager, getting us all set with the information we needed to make this happen. We appreciate all of it. For all of them, this is Joe Hickey wishing you dreams of green till next time. So long.